All right, well, let's switch to the AI playground and see what this will look like. So we've got several different practice areas, and I'm going to invite us to go to 5A, which would be practicing inviting internal experiencing. So this allows you to do MI with an invitation to the internal. This is basically identical to the chatty client, which is, I think, practice 1B. And the practice is finding one thing to focus on here rather than try to do a summary of the whole thing. I've been focusing a lot on my health lately. I know I should probably start exercising more. Now, here's the easiest one. What is it inside you that what is it inside you that tells you this is the right time for you to focus on your health? You see what I'm doing here? I'm just inviting, what is it inside them? It's a vague kind of thing, not what are their thoughts. It's but kind of what's that thing inside, just to get this out. Let's see what happens. All right, so the client says in response, well, I guess this feeling of wanting to be more energetic and healthier, especially since I know I have tired. It's like my body is asking, it's like my body is asking for a change. Yeah. How is your body asking for that? We could go on. So it's recognizing now that this is an invitation to eternal experiencing. You prompted them to reflect on their motivations and internal signals. That's exactly what we're doing here. Okay, so let's see the next one. I finally started a new exercise routine. It feels good to be taking steps. So it feels good to be taking steps for they're already in actions. Yeah, so here's what I'm just going to invite them to the present moment. Remember here, we've got invitations to the present moment. So let's see. How does that good how does that good feeling feel here with me as you tell me about the steps that you're taking? All right. And let's see what it kicks out. The client says it feels pretty great. So this would be a way to make an internal experience of an affirmation. You could do a simple affirmation. You could say, "Oh, that's great that you're taking steps. It's wonderful." Or you could say, "You've really dedicated yourself to this." That would be a more complex reflection. This would be an internal experiencing reflection. It feels good to be taking steps. How does it feel in your body? He says it feels pretty great. Like I'm finally doing something right for myself. Sharing this year makes me feel more motivated and supported, which is really encouraging, right? So you see how this adds more depth to the conversation. Excellent use of invitation to experience. EXP stands for internal experiencing. Encourage the client to connect. Great. All right, pre-contemplation. I've been hearing a lot lately from my family. I should consider changing a job because it's so stressful and worry about. Now, pre-contemplation, right? So now they're not wanting to make a change. So we could invite, let's see what we'll invite. Honestly, I really don't see the problem. It's demanding. I'm used to it. I've been in this field for so long. It's become a part of who I am. Yeah, I've been in this field for so long. It's a part of who I am. There's a somatic sense to that. Sure, there are days when it's overwhelming. I feel like I'm missing out. Oh, okay. So we could try to kick out a little bit of contemplation here, but who doesn't feel that way? So, what is that feeling? See, this isn't exactly a feeling, it's a thought masquerading as a feeling. I feel like I'm missing out on other things. But who doesn't feel this way? So we've got a couple defenses here. One, it's a thought masquerading as a feeling. Two, it's minimizing it. You know, everybody feels this way sometimes. I'm going to try to invite the emotion. I feel like I'm missing out on those things. Yeah, I'm gonna relabel it. You have the thought that you're missing out. It would be better if we had more. See, I'm missing out on things is vague. If the person said, I missed out on my 5 year old's birthday party last week, and my wife was furious, and my daughter has cried all night and wouldn't talk to me. That would be deepening the cost of the status quo, right? Here, staying, it's so vague. So we would probably need more of a dialogue to evoke this, like what what thing recently did you miss out on? That would be inviting specificity. See, this is what I was saying about vagueness versus specificity. What's the specific trigger that leads him to feel like he's missing out? Was the emotion sadness when he felt like he was missing out? But okay, let's just go on. I think my family is just overreacting. So minimizing there, maybe a little bit of gaslighting as it's commonly used now. They just want me to be more present at home. I appreciate their concern. Okay, so there's appreciation. There's a different feeling. I know I'm seriously, always seriously considering changing job. Maybe if things get worse. I'm going to ask about this appreciation because it's here in the room. It would take several to get to find out what he was missing out on. I'm assuming it's a key. I appreciate their concern. You feel, oh, that's good. They miss you when you're not there, period. How does that appreciation for their concern feel here in the room with me? Period. How does that appreciation feel in your body right now? No, I don't know how the pot's going to do that. It's interesting to think about. Feeling their concern is kind of warming. So he's giving us a somatic sense in his body. Even if I don't fully see the problem, it makes me aware that they care about my well being. Now, yeah, this is a pretty friendly client. They miss you when you're not there. The client could have taken offense at that and turned it into a should and said, yeah, I'm really a bad father. I'm really a bad husband. I know they miss me. You know, like I was not intending this to evoke guilt. I was intending this to just hold the trigger that the client themselves said, uh, they want me to be more present. That would have been better. They want you to be there. That would have been better. Um, how does that appreciation feel in your body? Yeah. But we've got this warm feeling. Okay, that's a beautiful sense. Uh, nicely done. The clients and focusing on their feelings for their family. You encourage them. Beautiful. All right. So you see how this goes. I hope this is interesting and helpful. I hope you have a great rest of the day. Bye bye.